Gi-Hun and the frontman are secretly in love, and I'm going to go over every fan theory to prove it, starting with innocent moments that could be friendship, all the way to theories that turn the entire show into a tragic love story. The date theory. Sometimes the smallest moments reveal the biggest truths, and fans notice that these two enemies spend a lot of time acting like they're on dates. Think about how most villain-hero relationships work in TV shows. They meet, they fight, maybe they have one tense conversation before the final battle. That's it. But Gi-Hun and the frontman keep finding excuses to hang out and talk like they actually enjoy each other's company. The frontman literally invites Gi-Hun to share drinks multiple times throughout the series, not as some kind of intimidation tactic or psychological warfare. Just casual offers like,
우승 축하합니다.
buy me soju after this, during their downtime between games. That's not normal enemy behavior. Their conversations during these moments feel completely different from typical adversarial exchanges. There's actual banter happening, playful joking, or extended personal discussions that go way beyond strategy or manipulation. They're genuinely comfortable with each other in a way that makes no sense if they're supposed to be mortal enemies. Fans started calling these interactions dates, because that's exactly what they look like. Two people who are interested in each other finding reasons to spend time together and get to know each other better. And the fact that one of them runs a death game and the other is trying to stop it almost becomes secondary to their personal connection. The casual nature of their interaction suggests they both look forward to these moments together, like they're taking breaks from being enemies to just be two people who find each other fascinating. But cute moments are nothing compared to life or death protection. That goes way beyond professional duty. Emotional tension and unspoken bond. Enemies don't usually stare at each other like this. The emotional intensity between them goes way beyond normal rivalry. The way these two look at each other during their scenes together is absolutely loaded with tension, not angry tension or threatening tension. Something much more complicated and personal. Long, lingering eye contact that feels like they were having entire conversations without saying a word. During their late night conversations, there's this atmosphere of intimacy that doesn't make sense for two people who should hate each other. The frontman shows genuine concern for Gi-Hun's well-being, asks personal questions about his motivations and feelings. These aren't interrogation tactics, they're expressions of real curiosity and care. The protective gestures are what really give it away though. The frontman goes out of his way to offer gentle encouragements when Gi-Hun is struggling, provides comfort during difficult moments, even shows physical concern when Gi-Hun is injured or exhausted.
너와 아이의 미래에 대한 거야.
That's not how you treat someone you see as just an opponent. Fans point to specific scenes where the frontman saves Gi-Hun from certain death, and the way they look at each other afterward feels charged with something that goes way beyond mutual respect. There's relief, gratitude, but also this underlying current of deeper emotional attachment. The unspoken bond theory suggests that both of them recognize this connection, but can't or won't acknowledge it directly because of their opposing roles. So it comes out in these moments of vulnerability and protection instead. Their fascination with each other feels obsessive in the best way, like they can't stop thinking about each other even when they're apart, which explains why they keep finding reasons to interact. Speaking of protection, this next theory gets even more intense, and suggests the frontman is actively compromising his own position. Protecting his man. You don't risk everything for someone you just respect. The frontman's repeated interventions prove he's personally invested in Gi-Hun's survival. This theory focuses on all the times the frontman saved Gi-Hun when he absolutely didn't have to. We're talking about moments where helping Gi-Hun actually undermined his own authority and put his position at risk. That's not strategic thinking, that's emotional decision-making. The rescue from gunfire is the most obvious example. The frontman could have let Gi-Hun die and solved a major problem for himself. Instead, he actively intervened to keep him alive. Even though it meant revealing his own involvement and compromising his cover. That's a massive risk for someone who's supposed to be maintaining order. But it's not just the dramatic saves. Fans have cataloged scenes where the frontman checks on Gi-Hun after every single game, making sure he's okay both physically and mentally. He invents excuses to extend their conversations, asks follow-up questions about his well-being, shows genuine concern about his emotional state. The pattern of behavior suggests jealousy and possessiveness too. When other threats emerge that could harm Gi-Hun, the frontman consistently intervenes in ways that go beyond his official duties. He's not just maintaining the games, he's actively protecting one specific player from harm. The most telling aspect is how these protective acts sometimes directly contradict the frontman's role in the organization. He makes choices that benefit Gi-Hun even when they make his own job harder or put him in conflict with his superiors. That's not professional behavior, that's personal attachment overriding duty. His inability to see Gi-Hun harmed reveals emotional investment that goes way beyond whatever official relationship they're supposed to have. The front man acts like someone who's personally invested in keeping the person he cares about safe, regardless of the consequences. But individual protection is nothing compared to the theory that suggests they're fundamentally changing each other's entire nature through their connection. Deflecting violence with affection. Love doesn't just connect people, it transforms them completely, and these two are making each other into different people. The most compelling relationship theory focuses on how Gi-Hun and the front man are actively changing each other in ways that go against their core programming. Gi-Hun's empathy and refusal to become cold-hearted is clearly affecting the frontman's ability to enforce the games with his usual ruthless efficiency. Before meeting Gi-Hun, the frontman ran the games like a perfectly efficient machine. Every rule enforced, every decision calculated, zero emotional investment in individual outcomes. But as their relationship develops, he starts making choices that prioritize Gi-Hun's well-being over a game integrity.
제가 관리자구의 입구를 찾아볼게요. 찾을 수 있겠어요? 저도 같이 갈까요?
The frontman begins bending rules, making exceptions, finding loopholes that benefit Gi-Hun specifically. He's not just protecting him from external threats, he's actively sabotaging his own system to give Gi-Hun advantages. That represents a fundamental shift in his priorities and values. On the flip side, Gi-Hun's interaction with the frontman is teaching him about the complexity of the people running these games. Instead of seeing pure evil, he's beginning to understand the human motivations and personal struggles that drive someone to this kind of work. His black and white worldview is becoming more nuanced. Theory suggests that if their relationship continued to develop, it could completely transform both of their approaches to the games. Gi-Hun's humanity could fully convert the frontman away from his role, while the frontman's insider knowledge could help Gi-Hun find more effective ways to create change. Their mutual redemption through emotional connection represents a completely different kind of resolution than the violent confrontation most people expect. Instead of destroying each other, they could save each other from the worst aspects of their respective roles. This transformation dynamic explains why their scenes together feel so emotionally charged. They're not just attracted to each other, they're actively making each other into better people through their connection. But transformation is just the beginning when love becomes the foundation for organized resistance. Lovers against the game. What if the real game was never about money or survival? The romance theory completely transforms Squid Game from brutal entertainment into revolutionary love story. This is the theory that changes everything about how you understand the entire show. If Gi-Hun and the frontman fell in love, their relationship wouldn't just be a subplot or character development. It would become the central driving force that reshapes the entire narrative structure of Squid Game. Instead of a nihilistic story about human nature under extreme pressure, the show becomes about the power of personal connection to overcome systematic oppression. Their love story would provide the catalyst for destabilizing the games from within, turning individual resistance into organized revolution. The romantic relationship would create a new kind of leadership dynamic based on empathy rather than fear or manipulation. Gi-Hun's moral compass, combined with his frontman's inside knowledge and authority, could fundamentally change how the organization operates. They could reform the system instead of just destroying it. Both actors Lee Jung-jae and Lee Byung-hun, along with showrunner Hwang Dong-hyuk, have commented on the complex respect-hate dynamic between their characters. Some fans and journalists read their interviews as intentional teasing about the romantic subtext, especially when they emphasize the mutual fascination and emotional intensity. The relationship would shift the entire focus of the show from systemic violence and betrayal to the possibility of redemption through love, instead of everyone trying to survive by becoming worse people.
걱정했는데 다행입니다.
The central couple would be improving each other and creating hope for systematic change. Their romance could provide the foundation for a completely different kind of resistance movement. Instead of trying to expose or destroy the games through external pressure, they could transform them from within by changing the fundamental power structure and moral framework. The most radical interpretation suggests that their love story was always a real point of the show. All the violence and competition was just the backdrop for a deeper story about two people finding each other across impossible circumstances and using their connection to create meaningful change. But even revolutionary romance has nothing on the theory that turns them into undercover agents working together. Secret revolutionaries theory. The most intense theory imagines their love developing in complete secrecy while they orchestrate the ultimate inside job against the entire system. This theory takes everything we've discussed and cranks it up to maximum intensity. Instead of just falling in love and changing each other, Gi-Hun and the frontman become secret partners, running a covert operation to destroy the games from within. Their relationship becomes the foundation for organized rebellion. The frontman uses his access to secretly alter game rules, leak crucial hints to players, and discreetly protect contestants who show potential for resistance. Meanwhile, Gi-Hun rallies survivors and plants seeds of dissent among the players, building an underground network of people ready to fight back. Their romance faces constant threat of exposure to the organizers and VIPs. Every secret meeting, every covert act of sabotage, every moment of intimacy puts both their lives and their mission at deadly risk. The tension becomes unbearable because they're not just hiding their feelings, they're running active espionage operations. The ethical complexity gets insane because they have to watch people die while maintaining their cover. The frontman has to enforce brutal rules and appear loyal to the organization, while Gi-Hun has to let some players get eliminated to avoid suspicion. Their love has to survive watching each other do terrible things for the greater good. The ultimate endgame involves orchestrating a full-scale rebellion where survivors overthrow the entire system in a spectacular coup. Their love becomes both the catalyst and the shield for radical change, transforming Squid Game from a saga of despair into one of hope, sparked by unexpected connection. This scenario adds layers of espionage, thriller, high-stakes romance, and moral complexity that would completely transform the show's DNA. Every scene would be loaded with double meaning. Every interaction would carry the weight of their secret mission. The secret revolutionaries theory turns them into the ultimate power couple fighting systematic oppression through love, strategy, and coordinated resistance. It's the most dramatic possible interpretation of their relationship. If you enjoyed this video and want to see every good Squid Game player who is actually evil, click the video on the screen.